Hi, it's been a minute since we last spoke, but I'm glad you're here. There's lots of good things to talk about. If this is your first time here, I'm Tammy Leslie, certified life coach, and here on Inch by Inch, we talk about what it takes to get through life's toughest seasons. I've got a cancer update and a new revelation. So go grab a drink and let's chat. Ready? Okay, so I had my first evaluation since starting cancer treatment back in September to assess how my body is responding to the Keytruda. Guess what? The blood work shows zero, nada, zip detectable cancer cells in my blood. And my GYN says that there is no longer a visible mass. However, the PET scan does still light up, so there is still cancer present. But you know what? 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I'll take it. And we can say the cancer is contained and hopefully shrinking. I am doing Snoopy Days today. Well, even with all this great news, there has still been work to do. This season of learning and growing has been phenomenal. I discovered something recently about myself. It was a little shocking, actually, but maybe you've been here too, and you can relate. Let me know in the comments. I've been playing God in my own life. I've been trying to control outcomes that are beyond my control. And I've been calling it strength and independence. I was trying to prove to myself and to the divine that I had this and I didn't need any help. And you know what? This has been going on for a really long time. You see, ever since I first was diagnosed with cancer back in 2019, and if I'm honest, it's probably been a lot longer than that, I've had an attitude of brace against the storm. Don't show fear, be strong. And I was really good at it too. I can't tell you the number of times people who commented on how strong I am and how much they admired that. Well, the truth is, that was a lie I was just telling myself. I was trying to create the miracle of healing all by myself. I was playing God in my own life. I couldn't admit that I was afraid. That would be admitting weakness. I couldn't admit that I was tired of carrying burdens that weren't mine to carry to begin with. I pushed through when I needed rest. I smiled when I wanted to cry. That wasn't strength. It just led to exhaustion and burnout. And burnout for me manifests as a freeze response. And a freeze response looks like endless hours of binging YouTube and phone games. I was definitely working from a place of force, not flow. I felt like I had to accomplish my dreams today. My time wasn't promised, and it was running out fast. And the more I forced, the harder my nervous system rebelled, and the further into a freeze response I fell. The first thing I had to learn, stop playing God, was that flow does not need to control outcomes. It's about focusing on what I can do today. I can't control how my body heals, but I can control the consistency that I show up for myself every day in whatever capacity I had that day. And for me, creating flow means identifying my North Star emotions. Now, these are emotions that guide me in my current season that help me determine the person I'm showing up as today. And in case you're curious, mine are creativity, abundance, and organization. I had been so focused on making progress that I never stopped to ask who I was becoming in the process. I believed that when I achieved X, the emotions would follow. They'd just be there. But that's not true. The North Star emotions help decide the person I want to be now. I know that when I keep them in the forefront, I'm able to identify the steps I will take to move into something better. For example, feeling organized doesn't have to be a full schedule planned down to the minute. I'm finding that I can feel that way by doing a nightly kitchen shutdown and tidying my house as I go, because that's the capacity I have today. And this brings me to my second point, capacity. Where is my energy and emotional state today? Now, let's be honest. I overplan every single day because in my brain, I can do this. But isn't that just me playing God? Seriously. But in this current season, I've had to adjust my own personal expectations. The cancer treatment causes fatigue. There's no getting around it. There's not enough coffee or naps. Make that go away. I've got a small window to get my stuff done in each day. I'm also in a freeze response. So it's important to regulate my nervous system so I can pull myself out of it. I do not have the capacity for big things right now, and that's okay. So my focus is on what is the one thing that would move the needle just 1% today. Right now, my energy seems to be naturally focused on my health and my home. For health, I'm focusing on trying to get 2,000 steps in a day and 40 ounces of water, as well as getting enough food in me, enough good food in me. And in my home, I'm creating simple systems that will let me keep my house tidy and the energy moving. This helps me not only feel organized, but the clean energy in my home generates creativity. I'm breaking big tasks into the smallest task I can, where each micro task has its own completion point. For example, walking 2,000 steps might break down into walk in place for one song, walk to the end of my parking lot and back. Small, completable, digestible tasks. I've discovered that I'm not omnipotent and I can't do it all. My daily capacity depends on my energy and my emotional state. I can only be responsible for the things I can control. Those things may seem small at the moment. And I find that incredibly frustrating because I remember when I had the capacity for so much more. But this is where I am today. Any 1% improvement done consistently will generate more results than a big task completed every now and then. I'm getting a little stronger every day, and it feels really good to be in a state of flow and focused on the things I can do in my current capacity. So if you've been carrying more than is yours to carry, maybe it's time to give yourself permission to put some of it down and do what you can with what you have today. Anyway, I want to thank you for spending time with me today. And if you found value in this video, please hit the like button. Thank you again, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.